Now, how many friends do I have from last night? A couple, cool, and you showed back up again. You guys are such suckers. My gosh. So what I want to do very quickly is just give you a couple of background points about my story. And to help you understand my big idea that I would like for you to come out of this with, whether I get there or not, I don't know, but here's my intention. I want you to realize that everything you're looking at in front of you, everything you've heard while you've been here, all of this stuff about building a business, about having an amazing life, I want you to know that this is a lot easier than you probably think. I'm not saying it's easy, but I'm telling you it's not quite as hard as you're probably making it in your head right now. Whenever we do even just those little bitty things that have to be done every single day, what do we get closer to? If we've got it in our vision, if we've got it in our mind of where we want to go, we're going to get closer to realizing that vision. I won't go through the whole story, but I'm going to start this one in 2008, before I even had the inkling of building this business or anything else. Okay, keep in mind, 2008, not that long ago, right? 2008 started off for me as the sole breadwinner in our house with a major career change. Now, how many people have ever made a major career change with a young family? Pretty big deal, right? Especially if you're the sole breadwinner, you got to go make it happen. This also happened to be a 100% commission position in an industry I had never been in before. So we had some trepidation. That's enough to make it on the list at the end of the year. Well, here's what we did this year. I could have put that on there and everybody would have gone, oh, hey, yeah, it's a big deal, right? In May of that year, as I'm getting into this position and making things go, I get a phone call about 2:30 in the afternoon. It's my wife's cell phone, and I'm always goofing off with my wife, so I see it and I pick it up, and hello, baby. It's my mom's voice. Okay, funny at first, but freaked me out. Why is my mom on my wife's cell phone? Honey, everything's fine, but Tammy had a heart attack. That's 39-year-old wife. You prepare yourself for a lot of things as a man. Probably prepare yourself for even more as a woman. You don't prepare yourself for that. So in an admitted state of shock, hung up the phone, drove there, spent the next 5 days in the hospital with her. Turns out she had just a freak condition called a spontaneous dissection of the arterial wall. Same thing that killed John Ritter, except his happened in the aorta, hers happened in a less crucial artery. Didn't freak us out any less. However, during that whole time in the hospital, while it's just the two of us and just a parade of friends and family coming in, we're not focused on the fact that she almost died. We weren't focused on the fact that we had friends in from town, and if they hadn't been, our 4-year-old daughter would have been the only one at home. We didn't focus on the fact that we had specifically chosen to live just a quarter of a mile away from the hospital in our town. Or that my dad and my wife and my stepmom and 2 of my sisters are nurses, and we're all within 30 seconds of her. Okay? If any of those things, people, oh, well, if your mom hadn't have been right there, oh, if you hadn't have lived so close to the hospital, oh, yeah, but we did. And it started to irritate me. I started just, why is everybody so freaked out about this? She's fine. She's alive. Everything's going great. And both of us were we spent 5 days just laughing and cutting up and basically making fun of all of our family because they kept coming in and freaking out. They just kept wondering, and this was a reoccurring theme, why aren't you more miserable? Why aren't you more depressed about this? Why doesn't this bother you more? It bothered us plenty. How much good did that bother do anybody really, though? Okay, and just keep that in mind as we go forward. So that was May. I had also been going to school full-time at that point, trying to get a bachelor's degree. Finished that in August. Went ahead and re-upped in a master's program immediately after that. Okay, it was on fire, just kept going. Hey, we got the momentum, might as well. So that was a pretty big deal in and of itself. It was 15, 20 more hours a week of study in the course of it. And I traveled for that job. And in October, I'd gone on a week-long road trip out to East Tennessee, and from Missouri, that's about an 11, 12-hour drive. Had been gone all week, was driving home, trying like crazy to get back home, and got there, got into bed, came home with 2 brand new accounts and a heck of a head cold. So I kiss everybody, put them to bed, take a couple shots of NyQuil, and done. The next thing I know, I hear, we have a fire. We what? What? I look at the clock, 2:20 in the morning. What, honey? We have a fire. Okay, where? I'm following these popping noises all the way through the house, go to the garage door, open it up, and the whole thing is filled with this orange smoke, just pulsing. You can just hear the fire crackling, everything going on. I can't see anything but the smoke. Slam the door, run back, grab the kids, call 911. Okay, here, macho guy. I think I'm going to put it out. Okay, I'm still in an NyQuil coma, apparently. Go running in. Again, where your head is. What are you thinking of the whole time? Do you freeze in the face of something like that? Are you trying to take steps? Are you trying to make moves? And I'm not saying go do this, but I actually put on a pair of shoes because I thought I was going to go stomp this thing out. Run back to the garage door, open it up. The flames jump past me about 7 feet. I realize I'm not stomping on anything. Turn, run like heck, grab my son out of his bunk bed. My wife grabs our daughter, and we hit the door. To shorten it down just a little bit for you, we get over to our neighbor's house, get everybody settled in. I come back outside. Not more than 30 seconds has elapsed in that time frame. And all of a sudden, little plumes of flame start coming up in different parts of the roof. The fire had been burning over our heads for probably a half hour at that point. Had my wife not woken up, we wouldn't have. Now, is that where we should focus? You would be surprised what some people thought. We went through the night. The house burned to the ground. Fire department did everything they could. 31,000 gallons of water. Who knows how many man hours. People just going in and out trying to save this thing. It was done. Now, about 45 minutes after the fire had started, or after we had gotten out, rather, I go back in to tell my wife, I don't think we're going to save anything out of this. It's too far, too much. And I look over her shoulder and I see my son, 6 years old at the time. He's the big brother. Just to kind of gauge his reaction, see what's going to go on. I'm going to have to be dad. I'm going to have to support him. And he looks at his sister and goes, it's just stuff. You don't train that. You model that.